Good to see you all. We know Gal. Please, Major, and the rest of you, please introduce yourselves.
So my name is Avichai Abarbanel. I'm the head of the R&D and Innovation Lab of the Ground Forces in the technology division of the Ground Forces.
Hi, do you hear me? Nice to meet you. My name is Michal Frenkel. I'm head of the innovation branch at the Combat Methods and Innovation Division under the Planning Directorate of the IDF.
Hi, I'm happy to be here. My name is Shai Cohen, and I am a data expert in the Data and AI department in the Digital Transformation Directorate in the IDF.
Okay, but I want to know what you do. So, Avichai, back to you. What exactly do you do?
So our mission is to find ideas within the organization and check them to find out in a smart way, a simple way, if a given idea that grows up from any soldier in our unit or comes from outside throughout open innovation processes, and to check, just like to see if there's any potential over there, and if so, to get it into the regular procedure of project management and developing it.
So this is just the idea phase that can come from the ground, from soldiers?
I'm kind of the tooth fairy of ideas for the ground forces. I find good ideas and I seed them and...
Well, you go out and interview soldiers?
Yeah.
Yeah? You ask them
Our everyday job is to go out to the field.
Yeah.
It could be like really the field or companies out there and find good ideas and work out with together with Mafat, together with other departments and find out if they're good.
Yeah, that's really cool. So you had instances when somebody came to you and said, I have this thing, I have this problem here, I need this to solve this, and something came out of it?
That's our regular job and day to day.
Yeah.
A lot of the ideas become like big projects afterwards, together with Mafat, together with the technology division, the people, the engineers in our unit that's their job. I can't give examples right now, but
yeah, I can imagine. But very interesting. Michal, what do you do exactly?
Basically whatever a Major A does, but only in the general staff level. We're the home base of the innovations across the IDF. We were established 3 years ago under the notion, under the multi-year plan called Momentum in the IDF. The former Chief of Staff, Kochavi, really believe that there's a need to build new organization in the IDF that look in a holistic view at the problems that we have in the IDF to make sure that whatever Major A is doing, he knows about it, and our friends at the intelligence corps know about it. So we have an innovation college. We conduct innovation contents, Chief of Staff Innovation Award. We've had 3 so far. So we give credit to innovation entrepreneurs within the IDF. It's a competition, some energy you need to...
Yeah, we just had one, yeah, it's good.
It was great. I just heard that the panelists get the same amount of money, right?
Yeah, they split 100,000 shekels,
Sure.
Not bad.
Yeah, so we'll take the check, I'm just
All
kidding.
right.
We work with our allies across the world, other innovation organizations that were established in other armies, such as the J-Hub in UK, Cyber Innovation Defense in Germany, Army Future Command. So we treat it as a profession. You have right here, sitting right there, innovation leaders that were enlisted to the IDF, Class A and B. And we're about to have the 3rd class enlisting in December. So we're building an army of innovators and entrepreneurs in all of the IDF that work together as an ecosystem. And of course, with our friends at DRD.
Right. So Shai, digital transformation is big in the military. Tell us what you do.
It's a huge concept in the IDF. I'm a data expert that my role every day is to think how can I transform data into operational advantages. So we are working in the general staff level with all the branches of the IDF. And mainly our job is to listen to the combat units to understand what their goals, what their operational needs, and how we can transfer data into advantages in the modern battlefield. Our department is a very young department. It's established 1.5 years ago. And it's also by the Directorate of Major General Kochavi. And that's we do all the time. We're also working about the data standards and regulations in the Army. So everybody can speak with everybody in the same language, that can share data in all the branches.
Air, sea, land.
Air, sea, land, multi-dimensional. This is what we need to do, because we found out that every branch see his point of view, and we need something higher than to look over how we can connect all the branches into one single goal. So this is what mainly my department do, and I'm dealing also with innovation in the field of data and AI, working a lot with Mafat and Michal. We have also innovation soldiers in our department.
I gave them one.
Yeah. So Gal, we're seeing that the challenge for the military is not just to have great weapons and be trained and ready, it's to compete with innovation constantly. So that's a new concept relatively, isn't it?
A relatively new concept, I would say. It's a progress because we identified that this is a challenge. I always say that we try to live in the problem domain. This is where we actually need to live. We need to understand the problem as well, because it's like going to the doctor and you say, I'm tired. And then the doctor starts examining you and seeing all sorts of details. And then in the end, he could reach a very non-trivial conclusion, such as you have some protein that you need to modify. But this process, it's really not about identifying the problem and building it in a structured manner. And the innovation in the end, it's this little maybe medicine that you get that you need like to develop for 20 years and thousands of people. So we try to live in the problem domain. And with my colleagues here, I think that this is really like trying to understand the problem to its basic elements, and then bringing the innovation to solve this basic element and really give this exponential leap.
Right. So I want to know how you keep up, but before that, I want to understand from you, for example, Avichai, where are the difficulties? I mean, we're talking about problems. There are a lot of problems. Problem solving is, it's nice, but it's hard.
So we're talking about a very hierarchical system with a lot of bureaucracy built in within it. So very much that's like the basic problem we deal with. Taking that a step forward, we're working on dealing with thinking concepts and breaking those structures that people are used to work in, and understanding what's exactly the point where they fail. Trying not to do again what's already been done on one side, and on the other, not excluding like things that failed because they didn't try enough, or like there were good ideas before, and we sometimes realize we need to try them again or approach in a different angle. And then I'll say having the body both like shiloach, Zati, in a higher level, in in the Army. And Mafat, that have the point of view of near future and far future, helps us to find solutions and solve them in new ways or ways that we already tried, as I said, but bring different solutions.
Yeah. So, Michal, innovation is associated with the young generation, and as Avichai said, the Army is a big, strong body. And tell me a little bit about the difficulty of maybe convincing the old guys that there's new stuff here.
I'll do that. I'll just want to add something. I don't know if you heard about the term ego. So that's something that we need to overcome, and we're trying to. There's a term called NIH, not invented here, in innovation. If I didn't invent it, I'm not going to do it. So the new term, what we're trying to implement in the IDF is PFE, proudly found elsewhere. So I'm going to give credit to someone that gave credit to someone else, and he said, he did something great. I'm going to do what he did, just make sure that it suits me. So that's, I think, one of the biggest struggles, and I think that giving credit to people and saying great job is really important. And you talked about the young generation. What we did in the last 3 years, we built a new profession in the IDF. We treat innovation as if it's a profession. That's why we have young soldiers enlist to the role of being innovation leaders. It's called profession number 764. Not many new professions have been, made up in the IDF in the last years. And I think that the generals understand that both, as you said, the younger generation knows his ChatGPT, and they are really technological. And we also understand that the ecosystem, the civilian ecosystem, has a lot of knowledge, and so we need to incorporate, to listen to the younger, bottom up, and to have mechanisms such as INNOFENSE to see what's out there and have sensors that will help us bring it in. But once it's in, let's see if we can industrialize it. Maybe it's relevant for someone else. And giving credit along the way is important.
We'll speak about INNOFENSE in a second. I want to ask you, Shai, what we're hearing here is problems of digital transformation you'll find in every big company, also in the private market, any big organization. What's unique about the military?
First of all, I think the military has a unique mission that divided between the different branches of the IDF, and it's a big, very big organization. So doing a digital transformation in a big organization is very, very challenging. You need to take it piece by piece, and furthermore, the challenge in digital transformation is not only technological, it's a cultural one. You're dealing with people. So how can you make a digital transformation in organization that is very, very massive with its tasks, with its process, with its operational needs, and with the amount of massive people. So you need to build a massive strategy for doing that in the army. It's not simple, it's a long term, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. You need to always ask yourself if what you are doing is good. You need to test it every time to see that you are getting where you want. And especially in the IDF, there's always a change, always new people coming on, new generations. So you need also to take care about taking this transformation, this digital transformation to other than generations. It's not like you are dealing with one generation and stop it. You need always to refresh it with the younger generations. So I think those are the main challenges of leading digital transformation in the IDF.
Gal, what is INNOFENSE and what's the idea behind it?
So INNOFENSE is a program within the Ministry of Defense that is shared with my partners here and other branches of the IDF and Ministry of Defense, where we wanted, first of all, it's a fusion between innovation and defense, and hence INNOFENSE. And the idea is to engage the startup nation and to really, first of all, let's publish what we need. In order to do that, we need our officers to talk in a language that the civilian market can understand. After we do this process, and to do that, we use the services of accelerators and incubators, people who can phrase the problem in a way that is understandable both to the defense and to the civilian. So after we post to the world our problems, we get in return, we get a lot of replies. And then this process is fine-tuning the replies. What is exactly new? What is the innovation? So this is a fine-tuning process. And then there is a screening process until, in the end, you get the winners. The winners, basically, they are elected to do the pilot. And the pilot is fine-tuned to answer your need and based on the innovation of the company. And then there is a pilot for these companies. And the pilot lasts about half a year, and there is a small amount of even funds related, but it is connected to the forces. It is connected to the program manager, officers that raised the problem. So for example, this pilot could be done in a military basis to actually see how it affects in the immediate application of the technology. And during this process, we also make sure that we can do a follow-up program within Mafat and the different organization, which takes a lot of paperwork and time. So it's also good to have, during this pilot, to have this time. So we are ready to continue this program. So this is, in short, INNOFENSE.
So tell me a little bit about this interaction with the private market, military and private market.
So the program enables us to work with startups, something that otherwise won't be possible. As Gal mentioned, the main issue is we need to talk in civilian terms and language, which is not very easy when, as I said, I work with the field, not always with the technology field or people that understand engineering and technology. And as I find it, the proof of concept, the proof of technology concept that we get within the first part of the program is a success if we manage to get to the second phase, to the second step, and try and find a new concept to check, or a more advanced military use idea or a concept that we want to check. Back here in the exhibition, there are few companies that we worked with in the last few years, from a group that do AI that predicts critical ecological events, through a company that found a way to cool down chips and processors with nanodiamonds, and a company that will enable us to drink water anywhere from any source. And
yeah, so that's a good point, Michal. Maybe there are technologies that don't know, startups, they don't know that they can help you because they are cooling chips with diamonds. You know, what does that have to do with the military? How do you find them?
I would say even more, it's not that they don't know about us, sometimes they don't want to work with us. And I understand them because we're, as Shai said, we're the biggest organization in Israel. That comes with bureaucracy and with, it takes a lot of time, and by the time we can work with them, they could be, the company could be closed. We wrote 120 long-page innovation strategy of the IDF, and I'll summarize it to you because
Yeah,
I know
please
you're very
do.
busy. So two main ideas that we talk about it in the IDF innovation strategy. One is if you want to do innovation, you have to do it systematically. And the second one is you have to be relevant. So what DDR&D is helping us is with the system, shortening the time that we can, they provide the, the contracts and whatever. We, as an IDF, I'm not allowed to talk to companies at all. I mean, we're personnel, permanent personnel. But what they need from us is the relevance. So the problems, because you can invent a lot of important things, but we get up in the morning, everyone here, and we want to make sure that we solve problems that really hurt, that the IDF needs
Right, you
to be
have the
solved.
problems, but maybe startups have the solution
They
and you
do.
don't know about it. How do you, make the wedding?
So we work together. What we do is we provide the problems. They send out a call out. Maybe Dr. Harari can talk about it. They send a call out with the problems, the unclassified ones, and that's the way they reach out. Can you solve that? And then we sit together and we screen and see if they can help us.
What about the classified ones, by the way?
Oh, we do that with them too.
How do you go about that?
So first of all, if it's classified, we work within the defense establishment, with the defense industries. You'll be surprised, there are big ones as they are well known, but there are a lot of small subcontractors, anywhere from people working in their own garage, but they have clearances and they can still get our challenges. So we hold conferences, we hold workshops, and we try really, as a CTO, this is my job even, to make sure that even the last engineer understands the big scope problem, because a lot of the time you can solve it from ways that you could not think. For example, a company that does nano diamond that can suddenly cool down a chip, so now you can overclock the chip and your computer is better. If your computer is better, you can detect your enemy further away. So all of a sudden, it all boils down to this diamond liquid that you put, and it's all thanks to the fact that the engineer understands your need. Mm-hmm. So really, we try to expose our problems for the largest audience possible.
Shai, what happens when you see in your data or technology something that is great for the civilian market? What do you do with it?
That it's great for the civilian market?
Yeah.
First of all, we are seeking for emerging technologies that can have dual use for defense and for civilian. I think that a model that is win-win for the other side is a good model. By the way, in INNOFENSE, sometimes the contact with the civilian market and understanding what are the problems in the military, sometimes best ideas come from the civilians market because they deal with another challenges and another problems, and they can relate it to similar problems in the IDF or in defense. So we are mainly looking for the ideas to solve our problems. As a matter of fact, in the AI and data field, first of all, if you're a company, civilian company, that want to work with very young talent guys, and you want to work about massive and diverse data. The IDF is the biggest data organization in Israel. And you want to deal with interesting challenges. So I think that in this manner, the IDF is ideal partner. So what INNOFENSE can make is that to leverage this opportunity. Sometimes when I go to interview companies in INNOFENS, I have with me the operational guys in the back, so I can translate what they are saying, their problems, into technology, into civilian market. So all this process is a great process to make a good, and to leverage good ideas from the civilians to the army, and vice versa, by the way.
Avichai, where is the cybersecurity in all of this?
So there isn't any system nowadays in the field that doesn't have a digital side in it. And having a digital side means that you're vulnerable to cyber attacks, and like not only to misguide or make other problems to the system. You can also bring it to a point where it doesn't work at all, or not effective in other ways. So when talking about systems, even not fully digital, not programs or computers, even if you talk about a drone or a car, like you can take it even to a tank. Having the risk of cyber penetration or connection loss is something we need to deal with. And that's a place where cybersecurity takes place within the ground forces. And saying that, we work with other bodies within the army. It's not only the ground forces problem. One of the things that happened in the IDF in the last few years, even a decade now, is combining between the different branches of the army and finding the ways to work together more efficiently and find solutions that are wide and see the whole field
Right.
into consideration.
Michal, you want to add to that?
No, he did a great job.
All right. Is cyber requirement in any kind of stuff you're doing?
So the answer is yes, it is a requirement that you need to be, we need to be protected. To what extent, and does it happen? For example, we're talking with startups, so maybe to the startups we'll cut some chase and let them still operate without all the restrictions. But once the system reaches a certain maturity level, then it has to have a protection level, cyber protection level, also physical security, and if it has dangerous materials, then would also materials. So at certain maturity level, this is a requirement.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.